Hello everyone, my name is Troy and welcome to my Joshi Journals, and we're back with my second live stream of a post-show coverage. Um, Before we discuss anything, I know this isn't really Joshi Puroresu related. We're going to be covering AEW Big Business, which has nothing to do with Joshi's, although we did have a Joshi in the main event. Um, but you guys need to understand that before this is a YouTube channel, before this is a Joshi Wrestling channel, I do have a personal bias for Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever you'd like to call her. That chick is my absolute hero. And before I do officially start, I do want to check YouTube because I want to make sure that I am live and I'm not speaking to myself. So let me just. Yeah, I believe I'm live. Yeah, okay, I'm live. Okay, so hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hi Bobby. Oh, by the way, guys, I haven't really solved the issue with I because I really want to put the live chat on the screen. So I don't know how to do that yet, but I will be reading out your comments live. If you guys want to drop down a comment, say hello, share your thoughts with me as I go on, it would really mean a lot. Okay, so welcome to the live stream, everyone. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this at your own time on the replay on YouTube, it really means a lot to me. Thanks for coming here. And yeah, as I said, today we're going to be discussing AEW Big Business. Again, nothing to do with Joshi Wrestling, but Mercedes Moné is my mother. She's the reason why I am in love with wrestling. She's actually the reason why I decided to watch Stardom full time. So we are going to give her that star treatment that AEW gave her. All right? All right. So let's start. Also, usually I have a couple of notes prepared on the side. Usually I have my tablet on the side of my computer so that I have things to say prepared. But for this live stream, I don't really have anything written down. I'm sort of just speaking from the heart, more spontaneous, more on the spot, just because I feel like I love Mercedes enough to not have a script and to share my opinions. And I'm pretty sure I watched the all of the segments a couple millions of times. So I got this, okay? I got this. Okay, so let's jump right into AEW Big Business. So this was a special episode or version of AEW Dynamite, which is their weekly flagship show, which I think is their Monday Night Raw version. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. And please let me know if I am audible, because I believe my mic says I am, but just in case. Okay, so AEW Big Business, I want to start by saying that I'm very thankful that we're living in a time where a major wrestling company like AEW is willing to go to the extreme lengths, such as presenting a whole show primarily for the debut of a female wrestler. Okay, for the longest time, I feel like a lot of us women's wrestling fans have um, criticized AEW for their, say, treatment of the female talent as opposed to their male counterparts. Um, so to have an AEW Dynamite be able to provide a platform as big as that to prepare its branding, its posters, its marketing, its overall aura, its feel to the big business term, which obviously, caused lots of speculation on if this could be Mercedes Moné's AEW debut. I really have to give AEW their props. Regardless of what I've thought about them in the past, they have. I've never seen a company make a big deal out of a woman's AEW debut or a woman's debut in a new wrestling company that they've never been to as big as they have with Mercedes. So AEW, you get major plus points for that. And yes, Bobby. My thoughts on Stardom wrestler Mina Shirakawa wrestling on Ring of Honor tapings. So I felt that there was going to be a gag. Okay, I felt like it won't just be a Mercedes debut. I feel like the girl goes up and beyond. She's always raising the bar, and I'm not that I'm fully crediting her for Stardom's rise to global stardom. No pun intended. But you can't lie that she's definitely been a bridge in sort of narrowing that gap between Japanese women's wrestling, at least contemporarily, and the Western audiences, right? So Mina Shirakawa wrestling on Ring of Honor was a surprise. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody knew Mina was even traveling. Um, when did she last wrestle? I'm not sure if she wrestled in the last Kurikan Hall show or if it was during the Cinderella Tournament Night 1. But it's crazy to think that Mina, I'm not sure, this might be her first time wrestling in the US, so I'm really proud of her. I've seen some clips on Twitter of her wrestling Anna Jay. It was fantastic. I think she got a full entrance as well, so overall, it was a really great night for me. As you guys might have guessed, it was a really great night for me. And on top of that, the new Stardom president, whose name I'm not too sure of, I believe it's Taro Okada. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. But he was also backstage for AEW Big Business, and he had this photo with Tony Khan. So right then and there, I was like, why is the Stardom president in the United States for Mercedes Moné's debut and Mina Shirakawa's you know, American wrestling debut? Surprises all around. I did not expect that. So yeah, I am really happy to see that AEW and Stardom is starting to have some sort of connection. Hoping, hoping. But yeah, so starting off with AEW Big Business. So let me tell you guys, I for those of you who aren't aware, I am based in the Philippines, which is 12 hours ahead of Eastern time. So if Dynamite started at 8 p.m. for you guys on a Wednesday, it started on 8 a.m. for me the following Thursday, okay? And I'm still a college student, so I had class at 8:30. So I was praying to the Lord wherever he may be that Mercedes would debut in the first 30 minutes of Dynamite because I needed her to come out before I had my class, or else I would have been pissed. Okay, I would have been pissed. And with the show, the biggest moments of a show are the opening match and the main event. So the moment that her music started hitting, which by the way, I was like, who is this? Who is this Gunther ass music? What is going on? This feels more Diana Perazzo underground remix. You know what I mean? And then the beat dropped, and then the Tron said CEO, and every single person in that arena started chanting along with the CEO line. Ooh, my reaction's up on my Twitter. It's up on my Instagram story. You guys want to check that out just in case. I was living. The gear that she had on, fantastic. Gold, white. Her hair said All Elite CEO. Red, white, gold. I think it had a bit of black. Fantastic. Nobody goes to extreme lengths to formulate a look such as Mercedes Moné. So Bobby says, I also hope that we see Mercedes Moné wrestle on Stardom this year. So I'm very hopeful for that because of the whole, hopefully, the new AEW and Stardom partnership. AEW does have a partnership with New Japan, so I'm expecting them to do the same with Stardom, with those two companies being sister and brother promotions. Um, so yeah, maybe. But yeah, back to Mercedes' AEW debut. Ooh, that opening segment, the crowd was wild. The crowd was wild. They were not giving her a chance to breathe, to have a word in. They were loud, and I've watched the promo a couple of times, and it was a very typical Mercedes babyface promo. She wasn't acting all overconfident like she would if she was a heel, which I think would have been um, cute. But the whole babyface moment, it was understandable because it was in her hometown of Boston. Um, so you would love for the fans to sort of gravitate towards her by having a very heartwarming promo. So she thanked the fans for sticking with her throughout the past 2 years. I can't believe that the walkout has been 2 years. Is that not crazy to you guys? But anyway, she also thanked the fans for sticking with her throughout the injuries, the ups and the downs. She thanked Eddie Guerrero for being an inspiration to her. Mercedes Moné, thank you. You're the inspiration for me. Um, and I think she also mentioned that she cannot wait to tear it up with each and every single member of the AEW women's roster. So let's get right into it. Let me know in the comments, who do you guys want to see Mercedes wrestle from the AEW roster? Right off the top of my head, I'd have to say Riho, Emi Sakura, um, Mariah May. I want to say Mariah May is my top choice right now, alongside maybe Tony Storm, and maybe Deonna Purrazzo and Serena Deeb, for the sake of them both being technical wrestlers. But yeah, I would say Mariah May is my top number one pick to wrestle Mercedes as soon as possible. Okay. And then yeah, she revealed that whole blazer to be this absolutely beautiful, stunning, sexy like bodysuit. Or was it a two-piece? I'm not sure, but she looked amazing. And at this point, I closed the show because I had class. I rushed to class, and the Wi-Fi isn't as strong as I would like for it to be, so I couldn't watch the whole show. But I'm pretty sure it was fantastic. I got to see a bit of the six-man tag with the Elite because I need to see myself some Okada. You know, that's my man. And I don't know who he went up against, but I think one of them was Pac, who used to go by Adrian Neville. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But other than that, she also announced that the main event of the night would be Willow Nightingale and Riho, which was a big surprise because I believe the World Championship for the men was on the show. It was Samoa Joe versus Ward. Was it Wardlow? I don't know. Please let me know. But what I'm trying to say is it's huge that the TBS Championship scene with Willow Nightingale and Riho was put in the main event over the main men's championship. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? Yes, Bobby. Mercedes Moné versus Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. I'm so sorry. Hikaru Shida, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I forgot about you. It's my memory, guys. It's currently 8:30 in the morning right now. It's about 12 hours since all of this. 12 hours. 24 hours since all of this happened. So bear with me. It was Wardlow. Okay, thank you. See, guys, I know some men's wrestling. I'm not fully crazy. So yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Also, I believe Fred makes some Joshi wrestling compilations on Twitter, so you guys might want to check him out. Fred, if you want to drop your um, Twitter username in the chat, let us know where we can find you so we can give your stuff a look. Um, and yeah, where was I? All right, the main event. So Mercedes announced Willow and Riho as the main event, which was fantastic considering that um, the main men's championship was on the card. So bless you, AW. You're making the show about a woman and about the women's wrestling. I would have loved to see Tony and Mariah on the show, but I believe they were on Collision, so maybe they're sort of preparing the build up for when they're gonna eventually have that face off. So let's talk about Willow versus Riho. So I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been fully following um AEW like religiously. Okay, like I see some clips every now and then, but I don't watch it on a weekly basis where I take my time out of my day to watch it. It's mostly like if I'm available, sure, let's log on to Twitter or YouTube and see what's going on. But from what I know, Willow and Rio are sort of the top contenders for the AEW TBS Championship, and because of that, they sort of had this match to determine who's sort of next in line to climb up the rankings. That's what I understand. Um, so in my opinion, it was a great match. All right, it was a great main event match. Thankful that they were put in the main event spot. God bless. And it was it was absolutely fantastic back and forth. All right. Riho did her double stomps, whereas Willow had to take advantage of her power advantage, and it was an Absolutely amazing match all throughout. I didn't know who was gonna win actually, but I sort of felt the leverage was gonna go to Willow because she had this whole angle with Chris Statlander, where I think they're sort of in a team, but Chris sort of wants the championship back. So I think people are speculating she might turn her back. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, and then Willow hit her power bomb, which I believe she calls it the Babe of the Power. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have a lot to learn now that I'm watching AW full time because of Mercedes. So, whew, it's like a whole new chapter for me. It's a whole new page in the Joshi journals, right? We love branding. Bobby also says he wants to see Queen Aminata and Diana Perrazzo against Mercedes. Right. Queen Aminata is fantastic. I also want to see Trish Adora, but I think they're both busy with the Ring of Honor TV tournament. So yeah, I think that's something for a later time. But I'd love to see those as well. Okay, so after Willow took the pin over Riho, she celebrated, and then the lights went out, and everyone was like, "Okay, is this Mercedes? Is Mercedes gonna come out at this time? Because why would the lights go out? Even considering that we already know how her theme song sounds like, we already know um, how how she does her entrance with that whole like Tron with a circle and then it says CEO afterwards. So we were like, who's this? But we were expecting Mercedes, and then boom, it was Julia Hart, our TBS champion. And while Willow was busy, Sky Blue attacked her in the ring, and as they were about to do a double beatdown, there comes the mother herself, Mercedes Moné, in a new gear. She had two looks for a debut. That's something you can't take away from female wrestlers. Okay, they will pull out a look, and if they're booked twice a night, chances are they will switch up their look. Okay, especially if you're Mercedes Moné. So I got excited because I thought there was no way that she wasn't gonna be physical, and she was. So so thank God she was physical because that sort of confirmed that she wasn't injured anymore. Which surprise, surprise, her ankle injury was allegedly career ending. Like it was career threatening. There we go. It was career threatening, and none of us knew. And maybe that's why she took 10 months to recover, both physically and mentally. But now she's back. She's physical. She delivered one hell of a punch to Sky Blue. And she was walking. She was like, okay. And when Sky Blue came, she was like, oh, you want some? And she punched the hell out of her. And thank you, Sky Blue, for selling. But you know who I have to thank? Julia Hart. Julia Hart, this is a message for you. Thank you for selling the Moneymaker to the best of your abilities. It was absolutely lovely. You spun, I want to say, 1,000 degrees. Beautiful selling. You made her debut 1,000 times better with that sell. Okay? Thank you, Julia Hart. Everyone in the chat, say thank you, Julia Hart, because that Moneymaker was absolutely perfect. Okay, perfect. And yeah, and then afterwards, Willow took Mercedes' hand and said, "Welcome back," and you know, raised her hand in victory. And Mercedes closed out the show hugging her family and her friends, which was absolutely lovely. So, I do want to say one thing that I noticed was that when Willow raised Mercedes' hand, Mercedes looked at her ankle, and you know how Mercedes loves to do these cryptic, like, um, yeah, she just loves doing things cryptic, sort of like dropping these small hints, the smallest details that contribute to a storyline. So, listen, any Mercedes Moné Sasha Banks fans in the chat, we know that when Mercedes makes friends, she's gonna turn their backs on them. Okay, kayfabe wise, like that's just her character as a CEO, as a boss. She backstabs people. Okay, yes, thank you, Julia Hart. Exactly, Bobby. So, Mercedes, you may have everyone out here convinced, but the crew, we are not buying it. Okay? We are not buying that you are oomfies with Willow Nightingale now. No, immediately not. But I know it's going to be a fantastic match. I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe, we could have a tag match between her and Willow versus Julia and Sky Blue. Um, who knows? Who knows, right? But all I know is this is the start of a new era. I'm really proud for Mercedes, really happy for her. And I feel like I want to address the fans who wanted her to go to WWE. As much as I'd love to her for her to go home to her home promotion where she made a name for herself. In my opinion, she doesn't have that much left to prove. I know she still has a Rumble win in her. She still has another WrestleMania main event in her. But she said it in her promo. AEW is the only place where the revolution could go global. And I know that WWE has done global shows, in Australia and Saudi Arabia and where else have they done? I think they're going to Germany, or is it Berlin? I'm not sure, but I know they're trying to branch out to different countries right now. But in terms of making a revolution go global, you have to be a part of multiple companies, not necessarily signed, but you have to partake in a company's culture and their overall work environment, and that includes her, going back to Japan to do a quick run with Stardom, going to Mexico, for CMLL. I believe she wants that rematch with Stephanie Vaquer, who's currently New Japan Strong Women's Champion, and as Bobby said, we want Mercedes Moné to win the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, right? So Mercedes could go to. She signed under AEW, but I hope that her contract allows her to do appearances in New Japan, in Stardom, in CMLL, in Impact. I don't know about AAA because I think AEW is trying to preserve their friendship with and partnership with CMLL. So maybe for safety contract reasons, they don't let the wrestlers wrestle in AAA. So yeah, Fred says, "Did you see Bailey watching her? Bailey is that ride or die friend for real." Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. Yes. So Bailey, Trinity, and Sorona or Tamina, they were all in the crowd. Well, not in the crowd. It was like high up, right? I think it was high up. It was sort of like the balcony area, and they were wearing. They were fully shown. For from the photos that I've seen, but I believe for a good period of time they were masks to sort of hide their identities, maybe hide from the public, not necessarily because they're under WWE, but maybe because they just don't want the attention, and they want this moment to be about Mercedes, which is absolutely lovely. Get everyone in the chat, everyone watching, please get yourself some friends like Mercedes, Bailey, Trinity, and Tamina. Those are the real ones, okay? The ones who go out of their way, out of their daily lives, their jobs, their families, to spend some time to witness something as historical as this, something as big as this, okay? So I hope everyone has those types of friends because they really mean a lot, okay? And yeah, we've seen them do the same. Mercedes and Tamina were at Impact when I believe when Trinity lost the title and eventually left the company, and they were also there when Trinity debuted. Bailey and Naomi were in Japan when Mercedes debuted for New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah, overall, all I'm gonna say is we love women supporting women, and I'd also love for everyone to support Mercedes Moné and the rest of the AEW women's locker room because I believe we're in for a change. Okay, I believe a lot of the Mercedes stands, the crew, such as myself, I believe a lot of the crew expressed lots of doubts with her signing with AEW because they were scared of how they were going to treat her, considering the amount of time they give women's matches and segments on a weekly show. But I'd like to stay positive. This is me being optimistic. Okay, this is me being positive, optimistic, and hoping for the best that Tony Khan will do what is right. He spent lots of dollars on signing Mercedes Moné. I know it was a competitive market to get Mercedes Moné. So I would like to think that he would be investing in Mercedes as a top star, okay? Okay. Because right, he wouldn't spend all that money for nothing, He wouldn't spend all that money to have her wrestle 5 minute matches. So yeah. Fingers crossed everyone, please manifest that this is the start of something fresh and new for the AEW women's locker room. Because right now, the way to go there's nowhere to go but up. Okay? There's nowhere to go but up. Tony Storm's our current world champion. Julia Hart is our current TBS champion. I don't know where she's going first. It surprised me that she went for the TBS title scene first. I don't know if she's coming for the championship or just because Willow's there, but we're in for a treat. Okay, we're in for a treat, and I'm really excited to see where her AEW run goes. If she has, I want to see her contract details. Is it flexible in a sense that she gets to work Stardom as well? Because I can't leave my Stardom girls behind. I've fallen in love with Joshi wrestling. I'm Joshi journals now, but I'm still talking about Mercedes Moné, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts on AEW Dynamite Big Business. And I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna live stream every time Mercedes does something in AEW because I think that would defeat the whole purpose of Joshi journals. You know, we want to focus on Japanese women's wrestling as much as possible. But maybe anytime Mercedes has a major pay-per-view match or any big news, perhaps I'll cover it. But for the most part, our post-show coverages are going to cover um, Japanese women's wrestling. And I believe the next one that I'm going to do is going to be on March 21st. No, I think. Wait, because March 20th is the Cinderella Tournament Finals. However, March 21st, I think I do have class. So I'll have to double check with you guys. But I'm definitely going to live stream for the results of the Cinderella Tournament. So you guys better watch out for that. And with that being said, thank you so much everyone for watching this live stream. Whether you're watching this live right now, thanks everyone, or if you're watching this live, not live. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for watching. It means a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of coverage thing that I'm doing. I hope there's more to come. And before I do let you off, please be sure to follow the Joshi Journals on our social media pages. So first on YouTube and then on Twitter at Joshi Journals. I don't necessarily use Instagram anymore. I do use it for stories, but I'm not the biggest fan of Instagram. It gets boring to me, in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Before I do close, Bobby has a question. Who would you like to see be Stephanie Vauquier's first opponent for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship? Maybe Thunder Rosa, just because they have a good history. I don't know if they have a history as rivals, but they're good friends. So I'd love to see them wrestle for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. But as for the rest of the New Japan Strong women's division, I believe Milo's there. I believe Viva Van is there. And not that I'm biased because I've interviewed them, but they're absolutely fantastic talent. So I hope they get their time to shine. Um, Maybe Johnny Robbie. Uh, Maybe even Queen Aminata or Billy Starks. Billy Starks. Billy Starks. Yeah, so those are my picks. Who are your picks? Let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Have a great day ahead. And it's almost 9 a.m. in the Philippines. I am off to class. Okay, bye.